Announcing the return of the king. All right, gentlemen, he's back. The GX56 is back, this time with a positive display in a coyote-colored band. Do we need any more proof that Casio G-Shock watches my videos and reads your comments? Okay, here's a comment from the Sniper King. Wish they would come out with the G-Shock King 2, updated module similar to the new Rangeman, but the iconic giant square shape. All right? So, Sniper King, I think he's called that because he's a sniper and he wears the King. He's an owner of the King. And he wants the whole screen and everything to be updated with MIP. We all do. We're not getting that just yet. But this iteration of the King comes with a positive display, along with a bunch of other ones, all with Coyote bands, okay? So, do you guys remember in my Rangeman preview video, let me just scroll down here. This is a Google search for Jim Kinkade Rangeman, and, well, there's a lot of them. All right, this color proves it. You guys remember that video? I was talking about, are they really serious with this new Rangeman watch? At that point, it hadn't been released. I was like, it's yellow. It's either black or yellow. Where is the coyote color? And I talk about watching a coyote cross the street by Jal, New Mexico, right? And we need more tactical colors, right? The Garmin Instinct 2X Solar Tactical has tactical colors. So, G-Shock, where's the tactical color? Well, it's right here. It's this two-tone series, all right? And Daniel Calvo, a few days ago, he said, ha ha ha, I love your chaotic style, Jim. The two-tone King should be available soon. It is already listed on Casio's international website. Are you getting one? And I told him, you dadgum right I am. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to now. I won the contest to buy this NASA Special Edition GW6900. It kind of destroyed my watch budget. I'm kind of upset that I won this contest. I mean, was it really a contest? Someone's already calling it Casio Gate. Frankly, on Time is calling it Casio Gate. He made a video called "I won the NASA G-Shock, but I feel like I lost," and then dejected emoji. And then you scroll down. I made a comment. I said, "Good morning, fellow contest winners," because I mean, did we really win? I don't know. Anyways, this new Rangeman, which had, this new series with the tactical banded colors, had been released internationally. Okay, G Central had reported on that on June 30th. Now here we are, July 31st, and I got a text on my phone from G-Shock to let me know that the series is available in the United States, which is important to me because I'm racking up G-Shock points, right? I'm G-Shock point rich, where I was. I had 900 G-Shock points, which I purchased this metal toolbox, which far exceeded my expectations for what a metal toolbox could be. This is really an amazing toolbox made in Japan, all right? You guys see that on the latch? Japan. Made in Japan. This is a terrific toolbox, and I'll talk more about this toolbox, the Toyo toolbox. I went to their website. A bunch of great toolboxes there. Anyways, our tangents are getting to tangents now. We have, like, nested tangents. We have to back out. What are we talking about? The two main subjects are that G-Shock has a two-tone utility color series. That's what they're calling it. It's tactical. It's tactical colors. And they have a positive display King. All right. Who else has a King? Termit. He has a King, I believe. Yes, he put J's and K's adapters with a NATO strap for his King. All right. Stephen Kopko just bought a King. And again, the King is the GX56. He got the red and black variant, which I believe is negative. I don't know if Stephen Kopko's like tearing his hair out now in anger, but that's what happened. Ian Ma, he is a King owner, and he is someone who has the positive display. I believe he has one. Well, Ian, do you have one? I'm not sure. He knows that the positive display GXW56 exists. All right. Anyways, this series, this two-tone series, they're calling it two-tone utility color. And let me just read the email that I got from G-Shock to tell you how they're pitching it, because they may be like Legos. Do you remember back in the day, like when I was a kid, Legos like never had weapons of modern warfare. For some reason, knights were allowed to have swords, but you couldn't even have a cop with a firearm. Like you couldn't have army men. You had to make up your own. And I believe my boys they make up their own. Guys, you make up weapons for your Legos? Give us some examples. I was actually in Dallas a few years ago, and there was a Lego convention I walked into, and they have like tons of like custom made legitimate Lego weapons. But anyways, what am I trying to say? The point is that I do not think that Casio G-Shock is going to admit that these colors are tactical. All right, these are camo, like tactical colors. They're like, oh, these are just utility colors, just for utility. You know, when you're hiding at work in the bushes, you know, like you've already used both your cigarette breaks, lunch break, and your bathroom break, and you want to hide, right? Hide in the bushes. Well, we have this utility color that's camo for work environments, right? Well, no, you have some of these are desert coyote color. I mean, maybe this isn't even really coyote color. There's two colors for the bands: desert color and OD green, right? So 3 of them have the desert, 2 of them have the green, all right? The 3 of these series that have the camo, the desert camo color are the King, the GX56, this GA110, and the DW6900. All right, and so 3 of them are straight up, or 2 of them are straight up digital, and 3 of them are anti-digi, and of course, and then 4 of them have double tang buckles, and 1 of them has that single tang buckle. Not a really big fan of the single tang buckle. You see I'm wearing the GW6900, and I have it, right now I have it on notch number 3, but this is like, I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. Once I get up, get going, and start moving, you know, like, I'm probably going to have to put it back on notch 2. All right? And so I much prefer the double tang buckles. Anyways, we'll get into more of that later. I've totally lost my train of thought. This is like so many things going on at once, tangents within tangents. Anyways, on June 30th, G Central reported that these watches would be available internationally. Would they be available in the United States was yet to be seen. I was waiting for the American release. Again, I don't want to jump the gun and go to like some, you know, Japanese eBay or Buyee or whatever, because for one thing, I want all the G-Shock points to rack up, and, you know, I want to, like, maybe one day I'll buy, like, from an international seller, but for right now, I'm just sticking with what's available in America. And so when you go to the G-Shock website, typically there's a banner at the top. Like right now, they have the banner with the G-Shock GW6900 NASA 24-1. You can just, it says buy now, right? You just buy it. There's no contest. The whole contest scam has gone by. But when you go to the different banners, they still have the July 4th American Patriotic 6900. They have the MTG B3000 with its, like, which looks like they left it on the stove for too long. Like it was a non-stick pan and it got burned. And then they have the MRG B2100 that Casio that costs thousands of dollars. The GBM 2100, which I'm interested in. My watch budget's totally blown up. But this is actually looks like the legibility on this one's pretty good. And the Gravity Master and the Frogman. All right, and the GDB 500, which I own and did not fit. Steve's wearing it. and they have some other ones, but they do not have this new two-tone series, right? So you got to scroll down to where it says new products, and there they have these products. They don't have the splash page for this yet. So we're pretty far ahead of the curve here on the Jim Kinkade YouTube channel because, well, I look at my emails or texts. It's easy when you have a watch that's a notification watch, and even though I'm not wearing it, I have it set to beep and vibrate, and it vibrates so loudly that I can hear it across the room vibrating. All right, the GA110TU-1A5 is the first one we're going to look at, which is the Anti-Digi, all right? And it has like the hands on the analog part are small, and they're drilled out to reduce weight, all right? So I guess that's good for shock absorption, and it has a tiny bit of paint. Is that lume? I don't know. And it has a double pronged buckle, holes on both sides of the band, and the desert colored strap. All right. Now there's this new feature on the G-Shock website that when you scroll down, you look at exterior, it will list for you the compatible band size. Now, for me, being a big wrister, I want to see those watches that go out to 215 millimeters at least. So there's like generally two different sizes for the G-Shock watches. The 205 millimeters and the 215 millimeters, all right? Historically, I've never been able to fit in the 205s, all right? This 6900 I'm wearing right now is a 205, and right now I'm on notch 3, but, I mean, like I said, I get moving, like my wrists grow, and my right wrist is a lot bigger than my left wrist because my right wrist is my shifting wrist when I'm driving the truck, and so I don't even know if it would fit at all. But anyways, these ones, as we're going to look at, are bigger and better, right? I don't know why I'm out of focus. There we go. All right. So that's watch 1. Now let's look at watch 2. And this is an Anti-Digi that has some forest camo, right? It has that green, what would you call this green color? I don't know if you call it OD green. But my brother might be interested in this one because being in Boston, he's in the woods, right? Boston is like a wooded city, right? It's like it's surrounded by woods, okay? Like, you don't believe me, go to the Blue Hills. It's woods. There's deer that have no fear of humans. You can pet them like dogs, and they're very aggressive. They want your food. Like, you'll be looking right at Boston while you're feeding deers, all right? So you need that forest camo. So this one, which is the GA100TU, this is a good Anti-Digi watch. So if my brother's interested in this, let me know. I'll buy it just so I can like make a video of it and then send it. And I'd be like prompter about sending it than I have been on the other watch. I said that lutitudinal one that I said I was going to send him. I haven't sent it yet. I think I'll do it. I'll do it soon. Don't worry. 2 more weeks. All right. So double pronged on this Anti-Digi band, which is forest green color, and it goes out to 215 millimeters. Good for a big wrister. All right. Now let's look at the third watch in this series, which also has the green band, and this one is the GA700. And I think of the Anti-Digi ones, I like this watch face. Okay, so the hands don't have any drill outs in them. But it's painted all the way through, so I think that helps the legibility. And it's a cleaner face. Like those other Anti-Digis have a lot of like little decorations and little needless like gears and animations. It reminds me of the background of the video game Mega Man, or just, any video game from back in the 80s when they had like unnecessary type of like little animations in the background. That's what those other watches remind me of, and this watch is a little bit cleaned up, a little more mature, less juvenile looking. That is the GA710TU, all right? And again, the compatible band size. This is a big band that goes out to 215 millimeters, all right? So the fourth one we're going to look at in the series is the DW6900TU-1A5, all right? So it's a DW. What I'm wearing right now is the GW. What's the difference? GW has multi-band 6 and tough solar, okay? So my NASA watch, it syncs, the time syncs every night, and the batteries charge up by the sun. This particular one we're looking at is the DW6900. No solar, no multiband 6, all right? But the light button, which is on the front, has some diamond-plated steel. It's not actually steel, it's plastic, but it looks like diamond-plated steel, which is it's actually good for grip, all right? The old Rangeman GW9400 has some plastic diamond-plated steel, okay? Now, one other thing that I just noticed, and I don't know for sure about, is you have what's called the three eyes, all right? So the third eye, the one to the right on this watch, which has a red outline around it and is a little bit bigger, takes away the seconds, okay? The other two eyes, what do they do on this watch? I don't know, because it's the DW6900. I can confirm that on the GW6900, each I know yelling. Each one of these circles on the top, which are euphemistically called eyes, each section has a meaning. All right, you can know whether you have your alarms on, whether you have the alarms muted, whether you have the hourly signal, whether you have what else? Power saving mode on. Like, you have all those indications, and I do not think that this DW6900 has those indications. I think that these eyes are essentially just animation decorations. I'm not 100% sure of that. And like always, my videos are full of inaccuracies and incomplete information, and I'll update it as when I can in the comments or in the description below. So in any of my videos, make sure you just check the description for the inevitable corrections, okay? This is just what happens when you play fast and loose on YouTube, all right? So this band is a single pronged buckle, all right? And this one does not have the dots. And what am I talking about? Well, let me just take off this GW6900, the NASA version, and you'll notice that there's dots. See the dots near the accordion section of the band? This is a decoration that's a carryover from the Square, right? The Square watches, the G5600 or the GW5000, they have those dots, and they even carry them over onto the all metal steel bracelet squares. Okay, now I believe that traditionally the 6900 does not have the dots. Okay, now this series, the Tough Utility series, no dots on this 6900 watch, all right? And I don't know how you guys feel about dots. Some people, I say dots, and they're automatically thinking ice cream of the future. Some people, are just opposed to dots. They hate dots. Anywhere they see a dot in life, they're just, freaking out. They do not like connect the dots puzzles. No dots on the 6900, at least not on the band. It has three eyes. Don't call them dots, all right? You don't know who you're going to trigger. So, which one of these do you guys like? Obviously, I like the Square. The King. Like, that is a big and beefy watch. I am already an owner of the King, and I have made numerous rant videos about how you cannot read this negative display. Well, why don't I get rid of it? Because it's super tough. It's so durable. And the King is the first watch that I've ever worn that fits with holes to spare. This band is beautiful, very long, very durable band. The problem with the band on the King is that the notches are too far apart. You may be in a case where one notch might be too loose, you tighten it up one notch, and then it's too tight, right? But that's one good thing about the GDB H2000, the best watch for a big wrister. There, not only is the band long, there's many, many holes for the perfect fit. All right, that's why I love the GBD H2000 so much. So the King does get kind of difficult to wear. It's definitely a short sleeve watch, and the fact that the Sniper King is a wearer of it. I mean, Sniper King is also known as Christian of Tampa, so I'm assuming that's Tampa, Florida, where I don't even think they have long sleeves in Tampa, Florida, right? Now out here in Texas, we kind of have to wear long sleeves to protect us from how brutal the sun is. It's not as humid as in Florida. Like, you want as much protection. You actually want long sleeves, even when it's 100 degrees out. And the King just doesn't fit under sleeves. There's no polite way of saying it. It will bust any sleeve. It will break the buttons if you have buttons on the sleeves. It will smash your cufflinks. Do not wear the King with formal dress wear. Your cufflinks will be gone, guaranteed. All right? So the other thing about the King is that my King, the GXW 56BB, has multi-band 6, all right? And this King, we actually didn't even look at it. Did we? No, we didn't. Let me find it. I don't even think that we went into its own page. It looks beautiful. Look at that positive display. Okay? That's great. It's not even like a positive display that has a hue or a tint to it. This is just a straight up positive display. Now, one of the issues of the legibility on the GXW 56BB, the King that I have, is that this is an overbuilt watch. So the actual LCD is deeply recessed in the watch case because it has a bumper that goes across. Now, on my King, the GXW 56BB, it's completely black. That's what the BB stands for. It's a special black edition. Everything's black and murdered out. Even the buckle's murdered out, right? Now, on this particular watch we're looking at with the two-tone series, the shock absorber is labeled, all right? It's impossible to miss because not only is the shock absorber go across the middle, but it's labeled shock absorber with brilliant orangish red paint, all right? Shock absorber. There's no doubt about it. There's your shock absorber, all right? And so there's multiple layers to the King, right? And I think of the King as a like when you put your phone in one of those really big otter boxes that you have to mount to your belt. That's what the King is like. It's like you have the watch module, which is like the phone way inside. Then you have the plastic bumper. Then you have a bumper over that, and then another bumper, and then you have the clip that you clip to your belt. There's a lot to it, all right? But it's very well protected, and the durability is exceptional. Mud resist buttons, and I think they're more mud resistant than the Rangeman, all right? And maybe we should save some of this information for if we get our hands on this watch. And like I said, even though I told Danielle Calvo, I said, "You're dadgum right, I'm buying this new King." At the time, I did not know that I would win the contest for the GW 6900. So my watch budget is kind of blown up. So you be careful when you say dadgum right, you're going to do something. Make sure that you actually have room in the budget, okay? So, Lord willing, we'll get our hands on this positive King. And I'll do more rants about it, the pros and cons. They're both pros and cons, but if you are a collector of multiple watches, I think it's one worth having. As a short sleeve watch, it makes a statement. If you're like someone who only wants one watch, maybe get one that's a little more practical, okay? We'll talk about that more when we get it. But I'm just very happy to see that they're bringing back a positive display King, number one, which is what you commenters have been saying in a lot of my videos. And number two, they have tactical colors. They're not calling them that, but they have green or desert camo, okay? All right. And also, I am on WatchCrunch, all right? Tim Johnson mentioned WatchCrunch. He went to a meetup from WatchCrunch. I guess he met up with Paul Whaley and some other guys out there in, I believe it was Utah, one of the mountain states. I am on WatchCrunch, and the first post is about the NASA G-Shock GW 6900, Apex 87 checked in. He's like, I guess they thought it was going to be more popular. I think they did. I think they thought, oh, everybody's going to want this NASA. We better make a contest. So it may not have been a scam. They just may have thought that more people would want it, and they didn't. Danny Minnick chimed in on, and this is on WatchCrunch. He says, "Oh, I need one." All right. Well, Danny, You don't even need to win a contest. They're available. You can buy it, $170. All right. And so I was mentioning before some of my videos about the King. Maybe we could find some. Here's the Rangeman diesel splash test. In some ways,
this is the brand new G-Shock Rangeman, the GPRH 1000.
Okay.
This is a dirty diesel filter,
which has rubber gaskets.
Diesel, and we're going to drain
Let me
it.
pause this. That is the type of. Hold on. All right.
All right, let's test the.
I don't know if this is like really even a diesel dunk. This is like a diesel deluge.
Buttons. See how they're working?
So the Rangeman has a squishy mud resist buttons. The King has like, there's no cracks on the buttons of the King. That's why I think it's more mud resistant. Continue.
All the buttons work. Of particular importance is whether the diesel, which is a solvent, will dissolve the bioresin.
That's an honest question. All right. I am doing an honest test. Will the diesel ruin the bioresin? Okay. If you put diesel in a styrofoam cup, the styrofoam cup will dissolve. Don't ask me how I know, but that's what happens. Right. So some materials, the diesel just totally disintegrates and some it doesn't. People are telling me, oh, the rubber gaskets will get ruined. Guys, this fuel filter you saw in this video has gaskets that we have to change each time we change the filter, which is frequently, especially when you're dealing with dyed diesel. Dyed diesel is like bottom of the barrel diesel. It's like only a small percentage of it is diesel. Most of it is like swill. It's like dirty water, okay?
Let's test the heart rate monitor. Having trouble getting a reading.
The heart rate monitor still works.
Swimming in diesel, you probably won't get a good reading on. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
It's working.
It came on.
All right. Well, stay tuned for the long-term results. Don't worry. I got a blue rag.
Always have a blue rag.
Be all right.
I forgot to mention when I was on the Real Ideal gear, we're talking about everyday carry. The blue rag is probably one of the most underrated everyday carry items, okay? Now, I have this giant boxes of blue rags at my work, okay? And, you know, the blue rags are always with us, all right? And, you know, even if I were to wear a tuxedo, I would have a blue rag on me. I would pass it off as being one of those little pocket things. What do they call them? Bunions or something? It would be folded up all nice. It would be a blue rag, okay? Anyways, that's a diesel deluge. That's just one test, and it's a legitimate test. I got a email from LACO. I believe it was from Arizona Fine Time, relaying promotional material from LACO watches, which are German watches for pilots. They test those watches with diesel, okay? I am not far off from what I am doing with my diesel tests. People in the watch community get on me all the time, you know, making me out to be a bad guy because I put diesel on my watches. LACO does it to their watches. People at work make fun of me, okay? Like there's some certain operators who are Garmin bros who made a mocking video of me, like by spraying it with WD-40. Yeah, well, it's been passed. It's not on the internet. It's been passed around to my coworkers, and I can't believe it. They like I'm trying to find a watch that's good for our work. I'm trying to tell the public that G-Shock's the best, and they're all out buying Garmin's. Most guys at work have Garmin's or Apple Watches. And I'm like, do the diesel dunk. And they'll be like, well, you know, maybe we'll just try and not to spill the diesel. I'm like, some of us aren't really like, don't have that type of like skill. Okay. Anyways, WatchCrunch, I'm on there. Twitter, I'm on there. Like I said in the last video, probably won't be tweeting that much because before it was a really toxic environment. I don't think it's a whole lot better. And so we got a lot of questions about the software update on the DWH 5600, which Denise is wearing, and the GBDH 2000. Okay, so I had told. Let me find the comment from Happy Me. Okay, Happy Me, and Happy Me was asking me about the updates. So like Casio does not publish service bulletins. So I mean, like it would be really helpful to know exactly what updates there are, like what the updates entail. Right now, I think I'm just gonna have to update and see what pops up. Right, Denise, you updated yours, right?
Yeah. It was a little hard to get to and figure it out.
Yeah. Happy Me is also an owner of the GW 6900, and he has put that one aside for the GBDH 2000 and the DWH 5600. All right. All right. Actually, I'm getting a lot of comments on that NASA one. Maybe let me see if it's in right here. We can see some of the comments. Oh, okay. I made this short. This piano music, right? And the song is called Space by French Fuse. What?
You didn't use live piano music for your
Oh,
family?
my wife is a pianist. All right, well, you're going to have to learn that song. It's really hard. It's an arpeggio. Can you play an arpeggio?
Arpeggio. There's no shortage of piano music in our house.
All right. Well, you're going to have to learn that one. Anyways, Neil Lewy says, I am mesmerized. I can listen to that gorgeous music and stare at the watch all day. I thought it was fitting music for that wrist roll. What?
I feel like cheated on by not using my music.
Okay, well, all right. Next wrist roll, we'll have live piano music from Denise. All right. I chose that song because it kind of reminds me like when you went to Boston's Museum of Science. You know, they have the planetarium and stuff. You're learning about space. They would play that like that new age style science music when you're waiting for the planetarium presentation. So this reminds me of space. In fact, the song is called Space by French Fuse. Anyways, let's go over. All right, we got ads. I'm not used to ads on Facebook because I pay for Facebook Premium. Excuse me, I do not pay for Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. That, like I said before, Facebook and Instagram is a huge scam, right? Like if you put content on there, you're not paid at all, right? And so that's like no deal, okay? Like you get ad revenue on YouTube, right? And on top of that, like if you want to chime in on current events, they'll just like delete your video or comment or whatever. All right. Fireman Fratch thought that the GW 6900 looks kind of small, reminds him of the AWG M100. Thought it was going to be much larger. Oh, yes, he mentions Greg Anderson. Greg Anderson is a GW 6900 enjoyer. Horizon Time Passion. I believe he's from Italy. He likes it. It has a nice design. Maybe we'll see it on his channel. David Zimmerly got one of these NASA special editions. He says it fits him fine, and he's going to hold on to the box in case he wants to sell it if the aftermarket takes off. I don't know if it's going to do that. I mean, it's really weird how sometimes the special editions take off and sometimes they don't. Like the manga, like the Japanese comic book version of the 2100 is like selling like hotcakes. Kyle checked in, said that he found a Casio at Walmart that thought that I might want to check it out. The Casio heavy duty DW921H, 200 meters of water resistance and a 10-year battery. I'll check that out. I believe that Philip Lahell may have mentioned that one before. Does it have mud resist buttons? I'll have to see if it's at the Walmart near where I am. Termit checked in about this one, and he makes a good point. He's confused about the choice of the 6900 versus the 5600, because the 5600 has been to outer space, or at least out of in orbit, right? Astronauts have worn the 5600, and that's in our book, right? Brian, go get the book. Go get the G-Shock book. We'll see if we can find it. But I don't know. I think that Casio G-Shock just loves making special edition 6900s, and I wish they'd do the 6400 more. Isn't the moon made of green cheese? That's what I was told. Yes, I believe that. I believe that he's riffing on the Telegram meme I got, where the flat earthers are saying NASA means to deceive, right? And so they are the flat earthers out there on Telegram probably believe the moon is made of cheese too. I think this is Tim Johnson. He says that the NASA edition G-Shock could have received a little more design cues. Seems like an afterthought. I'm not a fan of the circular indicators at the top. A G-Shock nonetheless. Let her rip, Jim. Yes, I know. Like the design of the 6900 NASA edition is not like inspired. They just slapped the word NASA on it. All right. Thank you, Brian. Brian got a picture of an astronaut wearing a square, the G-Shock square, all right? And it looks like he's I don't know if he's in orbit. Is that the space shuttle? I guess it is. So, in outer space. I don't know if he's gone past the Van Allen radiation belt. I think I accidentally call it the Van Nuys radiation belt in another video. It's the Van Allen radiation belt. I do not believe that the space shuttle is passed through the radiation belt. Interesting, though, that a spaceship from 1969 could. All right, Philip Lahell, another special edition watch, especially for collectors. It's a good thing that Casio is updating their modules with multiband 6 and solar. I'm not a fan of this watch. A lot of dial area is not used properly. Small LCD display. I like something similar to the GW5000U. All the indicators at the bottom of the screen, easy to read, no useless animations on the screen. But hey, this is a NASA watch, limited edition, will cost more. Other than that, nothing special. Will it cost more? I don't know. I don't know if this is going to take off in the aftermarket. The ones that really take off, you'd never expect, right? But yeah, I do like the multiband 6 and solar, like I said, and Philip Lahell makes a really good point about how it's hard to read the 6900. Like the bump on the bezel kind of gets in the way of reading the time, which is on the bottom of the screen. And I'll talk about that more in another video. Scott K, to the moon and back. I bought a clear 6900 and was disappointed. Difficult to see the time. Total garbage for me. You're a winner in my book. Thank you, Scott K. Feels like a gimmick to me. P.T. Barnum. Exactly. I was the sucker. All right? I was the sucker who bought the NASA special edition. I don't feel like so much of a sucker because I wanted to try out the 6900 watch. It's a very popular watch, an iconic G-Shock watch, and this one has multiband 6 and tough solar. So I may have been bamboozled, but it's kind of like you play a game at the fair. You had fun doing it. So what if you didn't win the big gorilla, rainbow gorilla with the giant arms? You still got, the little munchkin teddy bear. I don't know. Project Zach. I got the email from Casio about this watch and thought it was a contest to win this watch, and I was really confused when it was asking me for payment info. I slowed down and was like, uh-oh. Yes, Project Zach, he's not like me. He's not easy to fool. You can't dupe Project Zach, all right? He's never been bamboozled, okay? Deech checking in. Everybody wins with G-Shock. Another marketing ploy. Limited. Nah, just kidding. Pfft. Just give it to one of the boys for their collections as it doesn't fit anyway. All right, well, I want to interject. I'm not just going to give the kids a watch, right? They have to earn it somehow. Like Helen won the cozy contest, right? And Andrew, my oldest son, he's supposed to be testing the range man and giving me his feedback. And his feedback is just like one word answers to my question, like, what do you think of the range man? It's good. Sounds like someone who is homeschooled. And he graduated from a private school, private high school. He should be a little more articulate, but we'll get some more information out of him. He runs a lot, so maybe we can get some video and information from him running. All right, back to Deech's comment. Nothing special about it. They couldn't even make the flag correctly with the colors like the release of the GWM 5610 NASA 4 orange square, special box and tin, tough solar, multi-band 6, and a flag done correctly. This is the one to get, in my opinion, and was the same retail price of what you have. Yet another example of G-Shock going the wrong direction. So disappointed with the G-Shock as of late, to be honest. Further proving my point, there is value in the past. Anyway, rant over. Carry on and God bless. All right, yeah, really good point, Deech. They've done a number of different NASA collaborations, and I believe that orange one he's talking about is like the one, right? So they put multi-band 6. It's orange, which is really cool. Again, maybe I'm insane, but somehow I'm attracted to the color orange, right? And the box, the tin, and everything about that older GMW 5600 NASA edition, everything was special, all right? Nothing was really that special on this NASA GW 6900. The only thing that's special about it is finally we get a new watch with multiband 6 and solar. Okay? It just says NASA. And the flag he's talking about is a white just the white outline of a flag. You know, the shape of the American flag on the keeper. And Deech is saying that the orange NASA collaboration, you know, I guess they had the red, white, and blue. I don't know. I didn't see it. But, all right, good comments. Did I get to all of them? Top Cat checked in. How you doing, Top Cat? Great to hear from you. And he says it's a great watch, very cool. Well, keep your eye out for it. I mean, I think it would be a good one for your collection. And Everyday Jay said, Casio used to have a different style strap on the GW 6900s. The strap you have is the same old basic one found on the 5600s and 2100s. Wonder if it's a cost-cutting measure. Yeah, probably. I mean, it seems like everything they're doing now is like a cost-cutting measure. They just love cutting those corners there at G-Shock. And we did talk about how this two-tone series, the 6900 in that one does not have the dots, meaning it's not the strap from the square. I believe that this is the proper 6900 strap, but like I find it to be too small because like when you let me just put on notch 2 where I'd have it if I was like out, started sweating. Once I start sweating, like my wrists grow by at least a quarter inch. You see how the keeper, like it just catches the strap, right? It makes the whole, with there being only one pin on the buckle, it makes it like move too much. The keeper adds some stability, and it's even more pronounced when you're on the very last hole. I don't even think that it's like a valid hole. The keeper doesn't catch the band at all, and then it's like waggling way too much. See, and it pops out of the keeper. And so if I were to put this on my right wrist, that's what would happen because for whatever reason, my right wrist is much larger than my left one, probably from shifting the transmission. Gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kinkade. Thanks for watching.